So I got back from the gym earlier and I hit a wall, a massive wall. You know when you train legs, you just sit down. The moment you like sit down, you're not getting back up for the next like 15-20 minutes. I monged out completely. I've just literally got up and I've gone, I need to actually cook my last meal. One thing I wanted to highlight upon, so recently I've been incorporating Glycomax. As you can see, this is what the Glycomax looks like. Obviously you can get the supplement mad and you use my kit. So Glycomax is a GDA, basically a glucose disposal agent, just helps shunt carbs. So I got back from the gym earlier and I hit a wall, a massive wall. You know when you train legs, you just sit down. The moment you like sit down, you're not getting back up for the next like 15-20 minutes. I monged out completely. I've just literally got up and I've gone, I need to actually cook my last meal. One thing I wanted to highlight upon, so recently I've been incorporating Glycomax. As you can see, this is what the Glycomax looks like. Obviously you can get the supplement mad and you use my kit. So Glycomax is a GDA and basically a glucose disposal agent, just helps shunt carbs to where it needs to go, essentially. And I've been using this now for probably about 2 weeks. And I've been using this now for probably about 2 weeks. Can't be broken. Because motherfucker can't be broken. There we go. That whack. That's that bumper cut whack on the TikTok. Instead of punching like this, punch like that. Like, so when you're punching someone, rather than... So if you fucking come up to me, you'll get one of those, bruv. Anyway, shut up, eat your meal. Shut up and eat your meal. So what I've been doing is I've been taking this with every carb meal other than my post-workout meal throughout the day. As I'm taking it every single meal, 4 out of my 5 meals, I'll take 3 capsules instead of the 5 that I usually would recommend, just because I'm using it with many meals throughout the day. What I've noticed is, first of all, one, my appetite is way better. Like, I've had no problems at all eating since I've been up here. And, well, the first 2 weeks I was up here, I struggled to eat with my appetite. I don't know why. I think it was just the change in environment. I noticed now that, especially in my off-season, like, I struggled to, like, adapt to a new environment. My digestion wasn't good. My appetite wasn't great. Then all of a sudden, as I've got more settled in whilst being here, I've noticed that's improved. However, I don't know if that's down to the Glycomax. I've noticed as well my stools have been, sorry for the information if you're watching this, guys. I noticed that my poos have been better. Just way better, way more natural, way more comfortable, not like, you know when you sit down the toilet, you're like, oh, here we fucking go. And you look and you're like, what's happened here? What is leaky bum time, you know? This has actually made my stools pretty consistent, pretty hard, and I've gotten to a good routine of it as well. I wish I used this a long time ago. I wish I used this about a year ago now. But you learn this sort of stuff, you know. It is what it is. It's just the back end. I've decided to use it at the back end of my off season. I wish I used it, you know, 6 months into my off season. But we live and we learn. It's definitely something that I'd recommend if you notice that your appetite is diminishing. If you notice that you may be getting a little bit lethargic, maybe a little bit tired, this GDA will work massively. So Strong do the best on Glycomax. I would definitely recommend it. Give it a try. And as always with supplements, just try it. Like, if it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, you know what I'm going to say. I say it all the fucking time on the channel. Don't do it. No one's putting a gun to your head, my G. No one's going, you need to take this. A lot of people think that way, you know. So just chill, okay? If it don't work for you, you don't need to come on in and hate it. You know, just try it for yourself, you know. Right, so I had a few people message me about PAD and what's my thoughts on it. And this is what I said on my Instagram story, like, just unfollow the cunt, yeah? If it's negativity, just unfollow it. And I've realised it's like, you look on my Instagram, I follow like 300 people. There's a reason behind that. It's because I just don't want any negativity in my life. Whatever is done, it's nothing to do with you, it's nothing to do with me. If I see it, I don't like it, I unfollow. Simple as that. And that's how we should get on with our own lives, rather than worrying about what other people are doing. If you're focused on other people, it's just wasted energy on yourself. You could put that energy into your own training, your own journey, whatever it is. So that's it. Move on with your life. That's what we think about PAD. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Let go. Let go. Look, he's got into this habit, yeah, biting the fucking... Let go. Hey. Leave it. Leave it. Okay. Hey. Let go. Good prong collar. Fucking puts him in place, little twat. Go on, lad. Oh. Go on, then, pull it. You drop it then. Drop it. Oi. Good. Oh, he's doing a piss on it. Look at that yellow piss. Big enough, brave enough, pull it. Oh. Come on. Come on. Oh. Good cat, lad. Also, just realising that clip, look at the fucking state of me. I look like some army dog trainer specialist sort of guy. I look fucking homeless. Apologies, because matey boy here ruins all my clothes when I go for a dog walk. What I've been doing my cream of rice. So I obviously make the cream of rice in the morning. I let it go cold, or room temperature I should say. Then when it comes to meal number 3, which is my pre, why did I say that? Why the fuck did I just say that? What? Meal 3? So when it gets to the cream of rice meal, I then add my protein in. I then obviously mix it, put it back in the microwave. Actually, I put the blueberries on top, and then I put it in the microwave for 1 minute, and then it heats up a little bit. The fruit is like cold but warm at the same time. Beautiful. Try that out. I hope that made sense, me explaining that. Just coming up to midday right now. This is meal number 3 already. So as you can see, one thing that I've learned since being up here is, like, previously I'd never be able to eat 3 meals but by the time it's midday. Never. But you can train your body to eat. And ever since I've been doing it, I've got no problems at all. I can eat like 2,500 calories already by midday, and I've been up since 6 o'clock. It's quite easy. Especially when I've been moaning about my appetite in the past. Fucking easy, I tell you, boy, I'm getting it fucking down me. So this is my pre-workout. We've got legs today. I'm training with Jack's client, Alex, who's staying with us for a couple of days. So that should be good. Make sure everything's on point. And he's prepping this year. We're going to fucking train hard. And we're going to give him something to remember when he goes back home. Because that's what the Georgie boy does. I just want you to remember me. That's all I care about. Just remember me when you go home. Think about me in your bed. No, don't. Actually, think about me on the drive home, innit? Doing this, doing fucking this, yeah? We've arrived at Ultraflex for legs today. I haven't recorded this rotation yet for YouTube, so first time round. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna record the session and maybe add a little few bits of me talking in it. But what I'm gonna also do is like a voiceover as well, just explain things in more detail, because often or not when I'm training, I want to focus. I don't want to be fucking talking about this and that sometimes. It's going to be a mixture between raw footage, a mixture between a voiceover, and a mixture between me speaking as well. So hopefully you enjoy something a little bit different. So first exercise round is going to be actually the incline or high benching, kind of high to low D-handle pull down. And that's just for additional lat work, really. Like, I need more lats from the front. I'm noticing my front double bicep, even front lat spread, just need a little bit more lat to make that more of a completer look. So just additional sort of top up work, just like I would do with side lateral raises in other sessions, just adding a little bit more volume where I can recover. And obviously it's really important to remember that when you do add these sort of things in, you need to assess your recovery. So are you able to recover by the next following session? Is it taken away from your log numbers? Things like this you need to take into consideration, because if you are adding in more volume but then you notice that your overall sort of total workload is decreasing, then it's just junk volume and it's not necessarily needed. Going to start off with that, then we're going to go upstairs. I've got a Stairmaster, warm up for legs, seated calf raise, Abductor Machine, lying hamstring curl, paused pendulum squat, paused leg press, walking lunges, and that is it. The hardest bit for me is those fucking walking lunges at the end. They are what bury me. And it's more of a mental thing. It's more of a, I need to fucking get to that point in the session where I've already fucked myself from the other movements. You kind of really have to just dig in. So the Astro Tough, I'm just going to go up and down for as long as I can until I can't physically do any more. So it's going to be exciting. I love that. Like, the thought of me doing it right now scares me, but when I'm in that moment, I fucking love it. And I love just laying on the floor afterwards, feeling like I'm going to die. That's a leg day. That's a leg day for the Georgie boy. Feeling like death is a leg day. Like I said earlier, we've got Alex, who's, I don't know where Alex has gone. I don't know where the fuck he's gone. He's coached by Jack. Just making sure that at this point, you know, he's in a good spot to, you know, continue to progress, but also just looking at him, make sure exercise selection is good, make sure that he's stimulating muscles just how he should be. So he's in the best environment to do that. Leg day with slight additional pull work. Pulling from the Geordie boy. Let's fucking do this, you little cunt. Yeah? Let's fucking have it. You know, when you get to the gym, I feel like I'm in it. For some reason, I just come, like, it comes over me, I just want to fucking fight. Even though I'm not a fighter, I just feel like I'm going to fight, you know. I would just love to see where I'm at in terms of fighting someone, but I know I'm going to get battered anyway. Don't know why I said that. Let's just fucking get into this. Right, take 2. 30 rep cluster to start off with. 3 failure points, using the weight that we can go 12 to 50 reps. It's almost like a rest pause, but we're just trying to get to 30 reps. So as many rest pauses needed to get to that 30 reps. So use a weight that you can ideally go between, I'd say probably towards 15 mark. Again, try and think about driving that elbow down. I like to, and I'll demonstrate this shortly, little the supine of your wrist. Really think about getting that elbow down to the base of your spine. Let's fucking get it. Welcome to today's voiceover. I hope you're all well. What you will see in this voiceover is a little bit between myself talking, and you'll also see some training footage, but I've got my training footage up on the screen, so I'm actually going to go through it with you now and talk about more what I'm doing. Just trying to change up the videos, make it look a little bit more professional, something a little bit different as well. Different visuals, all that sort of shit that I'm just thinking of in my head. So if you like this sort of stuff, then please drop a like, I'd appreciate it. So as I mentioned, I started off with a D-handle pull down on the cable machine. So just a little bit of additional lat work here, just because my lats are a weakness from the front. Like, we can all do with a little bit more lats, especially in that front relax. You know, the first shot that the judges see, you want to be big, you want to be full, you want to have popping lats. So just a little bit of top up work here. You'll notice that I actually supine my wrist a little bit, so you probably can't see it too well on the video, but what I normally do is, you've obviously got a neutral grip like this, just a slight supination of the grip like that, and think about driving your elbow down whilst keeping the elbow nice and close. You don't want to be pulling out here, you want to be pulling down very close to your midline. Really gets the lat, really targets the lat. So I did a 30 rep cluster here, so 3 failure points. You'll use a weight that you can go to failure between 12 and 15 reps with. You'll then have a 30-second rest in between that sort of failure point, and then obviously you'll repeat the process like a rest pause. So 3 failure points, 30-second in between, go into failure. So I think on this particular day I got 16, 8 and 7, I believe. I need to look at my logbook again, but yeah, just one cluster set there, but on both sides. And then we went upstairs, and then we did some cardio. Just 5 minutes on the Stairmaster, nothing too strenuous, just to make sure we get a bit of blood flow into the muscles, bit of mind-muscle connection, and just mentally prepare ourselves for the session as well. I do believe those sort of five minutes before you train make a massive difference. We then moved on to the seated calf raise. So obviously, with any sort of like calf raise, you've got 2 muscles. You've got the soleus and you've got the gastrocnemius. The seated calf raise, sorry, is great for working the soleus muscle, which is underneath the gastrocnemius. Again, if you're doing like a standing calf raise, I think it's important to incorporate both, so standing and seated, to have an overall sort of development of the calf. And what you can see me doing here is I'm doing a 2 count in the length and range, 2 count on the contraction. So often or not, so dorsiflexion is when your toes, imagine kicking a door, that's dorsiflexion, you point your toes up to the sky. A lot of us, we don't spend time in that sort of length and range. We always spend time on the contractions, and when you're walking about each day, you're pretty much contracting your calves anyway. So your calves are very much used to high rep sort of endurance sort of stuff. I think one key thing to remember with calves is spend time in areas that you don't normally spend time in. So like I said, dorsiflexion, you don't normally spend time with your toes pointing up, stretching out the calf, do you? You don't often do that much. So as you can see here, really just overloading that stretch at the bottom, counting 2 in my head, perfect contractions. And as you can see, the tempo throughout this whole entire set was pretty spot on. And I think when I was training with Alex, he's so used to doing high rep stuff that he wasn't used to me doing this particular setup. And you can notice the difference between mine and his sort of strengths, because he wasn't as strong as what I was on these sort of calf raises. And that's the beauty of training someone. You can identify where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are. So he was stronger than me on certain things like the hamstring curl, leg extensions, which I'm very weak at. So you kind of identify all these sort of things. But yeah, calf raise, very basic, very basic, straightforward. 3 working sets there, 2 counts in both the short range and the length and range. Then proceeded to go onto the Abductor Machine. So the Gymshark Abductor is a great piece of kit. It's one of my favourites at the moment. I actually tore my adductor when I trained with Kuba back in January 2020. The first exercise we did, I tore my adductor, and then I proceeded to continue training fucking legs with him. And it took me about 4 months to recover from it. So what I actually think about with this, because obviously your legs are extended compared to a normal sort of adductor machine or a knee flexion to an extent, is I just think about my knees. So rather than forget about your feet, just think about bringing your knees together. I like to spend 1 count in the length and range, 1 count on the contraction, and just standardise that sort of tempo, because you can easily get injured on a machine like this, especially an adductor. It's an annoying injury to get, because when you're sitting down, when you're standing up, when you're walking, you're always using your adductor, so you never actually really give it proper rest. But when it comes to actually isolating it, you rarely ever isolate your adductors on a day-to-day sort of basis, so injury risk is high. But like I said, just really make sure you are controlling the weight. You're not just fucking throwing weight from A to B. I did that when I was training with Kuba, and I totally regretted it. So yeah, nearly on 6 plates on this, which is fucking pretty cool for me. I've never done 6 plates before. Jack Thorburn is up to fucking 10 plates on that, which is pretty nuts if you ask me. As you can see, Alex did very well. He done like 6 plates on it quite comfortably. The first time he used it, he used 6 plates. So clearly very good adductors from himself, which I'm very jealous of. So we then moved on to the Line Prime hamstring curl. One of my favourite hamstring curls. I think the seated one is, I prefer the seated one, but I do like the Lion one. Again, so where I like to typically load this is like the length and range, so the beginning to mid-range of the set. So I think that's pin number 5 if you do use a prime machine. And the reason why I'm loading it in this particular area is you want to get the most out of your hamstrings, as they are fresher to begin with in the set. You know, it doesn't make sense for you to, again, put it in, you want to overload it where it's its weakest, which is obviously in the length and range. And as you're fresher, you're going to be able to perform the exercise better rather than doing it towards the end of the session where you're going to be more fatigued. So it makes, in my opinion, total sense to standardise that. As always in my cues, like what I actually do when I'm on this prime Lion ham curl, any sort of ham curl, is when I'm holding the handles, I kind of like try and pull the handles towards me, and that immediately kind of reminds me to stay locked in, because you can easily rise your hips up on this particular machine. And as you can see, I'm pretty accurate with how I'm moving this weight from point A to point B. So 1 count in the length and range, 1 count in the short and range. Just standardise that. So just standardising the tempos throughout is just going to allow you to, 1, make true progressions. 2, you're not actually going to be moving weight from A to B. You're actually going to be using your hamstrings. And like I said, at this point in my journey, like I can't just be moving weight from A to B. Like I need to be smarter with my training. The more smarter you get, obviously the more advanced you get, the more smarter you need to be. And as you can see towards the end here, I had Alex just get me to that sort of length and range, short and range, sorry, where, you know, when we start to fatigue, it's harder to get short. Makes a massive difference when you have a spotter there just to kind of help you for that additional sort of range of motion. So we did 2 sets on there, 1 set of 8 to 10 and 1 set of 11 to 12. We then moved on to the pendulum swap. So apologies about the fucking quality of this. I'm still trying to work out my camera settings. It seems to be fucking diabolical at the moment. I'm not sure what's going on. But I did a 1 count in the pause. Well, the pause was 1 count, sorry. So really just tried to standardise that. I think I got five reps last time, and this week I got 7. So I was super chuffed about that. I don't know what brand of pendulum this is at Ultraflex, but it's pretty good, I must admit. It seems like someone's made it, like Gymshop have made it and created like a new one. It feels like that. So yeah, I was just really standardising these pauses here. As you can see, range of motion on this is pretty crazy. You can get some really good range of motion on this without any sort of discomfort. You'll see that I'm wearing a belt as well, so the belt has a purpose in the sense that you can actually learn to brace correctly. So often or not, what you find with the belt is I'm trying to actually push my stomach against that belt to keep my stomach or keep my core really engaged. And as you can see, I've got AJ shouting at me here, so I really had to fucking switch on my game, which I thoroughly enjoyed. So yeah, just a really good overall sort of session there. Or set, I should say session. Fuck it, I'm waffling now, and Jesus Christ. But yeah, I would say like you don't need to use a belt on a squatting exercise, but you can certainly use a belt for just core reasons and keeping locked in and your core stability. I definitely do recommend trying it, especially if you are struggling to breathe correctly whilst doing these sort of movement patterns. We then moved on to the leg press. So all of these are just 1 working set in total. And when you've got that 1 working set, it's like, right, okay, it's 1 opportunity to progress these log numbers, 1 opportunity to take it all the way there. So I'm using a Nitron pivot style leg press here, and last time I got a set of 9 with this particular weight, and my goal was to aim for like 11 to 14 rep range. So I was confident this time I could do the same weight. So this is 9 plates aside, so about 360 kilos. I was confident I could surpass that sort of 9 rep mark just through the novelty of getting used to the actual setup. So I did a pause in obviously the shorten range. So as you can see, or the length and range, sorry, not short and range. So kind of standardise that depth on this is pretty cool. You can get some really good depth on this. Kept a sort of neutral foot placement with slightly toes pointing out. But what I'm trying to think about is, can I push through my heel? Can I push through my midfoot? And can I push through my mid-toe? Lucky for me, I've always been quite a good leg presser. Like I've never struggled to do a leg press at all. And I find it quite comfortable going quite deep. But the only thing is I would just say is that when you're coming down on the eccentric, just make sure like you are locked into that chair. So you're really like pushing yourself back into that chair, because as soon as you lose brace, it's then going to be really, really challenging to then get out of that hole. So it's really important just to remind yourself to stay locked into that position. So this particular day I got 12, so I got 3 reps more than what I did previously, which was pretty good. I'm super chuffed about that, and as you can always see, I always take it all the way there till I can't fucking do any more. That's how you train. That's how you fucking train properly, okay? Absolutely love those sets. Then we moved on to the prime leg extension. So the goal with the leg extension here was just to really make sure that we're finishing off the quads. I'm using my assist your lift seat belt, so always keep a seat belt in there just to remain locked in. And I also use straps as well, so I'm like fully like protection. Like if I met a girl, I'm wearing a condom, I'm wearing fucking clothes, I'm staying protected if I'm fucking this girl, you know, I'm that sort of person. I'm not really. As if I've just said that. So this was a 15 to 20 rep set, and then we did a double drop set. So really just finishing off the quads, and oh my god, my quads were absolutely cream crackered after doing this, which was good. And then bumped into Gaz in the gym, and then I asked Gaz to help me sort out my camera. And as you can see, the camera quality on this particular set is a lot better compared to previous fucking clips that you've seen. So I just need to figure out how to use this camera. As you can see, towards the end of that, I was absolutely cream crackered. And then we move on to the final hurdle of the day, which are these walking lunges. So I did the length. I got the 20 kilo dumbbells, and I just decided to walk the length until I couldn't do any more. So just keep going, back, up and down, up and down. And I think this was the first time Alex did these in a long time, and he was absolutely fucked after these, which is always a good sign. But yeah, these are extremely hard. I think it's more of a mental battle rather than a physical battle within itself. Like preparing yourself to do this at the end of a session when you've done a pendulum, a leg press, and all these other accessory work is quite hard. But I really think like there serves a purpose of doing any sort of like walking lunge or any sort of split squat. I really do believe they make a massive difference in how the leg looks, especially in those side shots. So the separation between the hamstrings and the quads and the glutes, I really think contribute towards doing these walking lunges. So if you haven't got a split squat or walking lunge in your plan, I would highly suggest you incorporating it. So yeah, as you can see on the way back, I was a lot slower than what I was going down, but you know, we made it work, and I took it all the way there until I couldn't do any more. And that was the session. That was the session wrapped up. So after this sort of voiceover, you'll see me posing with Alex, just going through a few cues with him to make sure that his posing's up to scratch. Posing makes a massive difference, you know, especially if you're competing in bodybuilding, you need to be practicing your posing. So I hope I add some value to this as you watch. Anyway, enough waffling from me. I hope you've enjoyed this voiceover. Sorry it's been a bit long. And yeah, we shall speak in a bit. From relaxed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Before you go into it, go reset. Just make sure you inhale in and just get this control. You need to practice this. There we go. There we go. Keep that crunch. 5, 4, 3. Glute. 2, 1. There we go. Just remember to sit on that glute as well. Yeah. You're just a bit flat. Make sure you look at yourself, just to remind what you look like. Good. Get a little bit crunched in, there we go. There we go, better. Glute, there we go. Hold that glute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So always remember like posing, just start from like floor up. Yeah. Just start like feet, hamstrings, glutes, quads, leg midsection. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Good. Relax for a second. This left side, you're not contracting it. So just in this pose, just think about honestly like pushing your knuckles into your sides, and already you're contracting your lats, and then just use your lat and then just push down like the delts. You want to push down into your lats, and then one that is like cushions. Hard to do. Yeah. But just keep practicing that. In. Good. Obviously, I haven't trained up before, so keep that in mind. Before we go into it again, so bring all that air into that chest like we spoke about yesterday. So just sit nice and high on it. Belly button all the way in. There we go. All the way in. Good, 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 good. Yes. Nice shot. Don't forget, bring them, push them abductors together. There we go. Better, better. Stay on that. Good. Good. Slight tilt back. There we go. Better. Bring them all back in. Cool. So like when you're doing that pose, ideally from the other side, you kind of want to imagine like arching and then bringing and just that sort of tilt back. Because remember, obviously the judges are down here looking at you. Yeah. And then when you're up here, like they're not going to, and you're like that, they're not going to see it too much. And just remember, just when you're in that position, just pulling them, just pushing them abductors together. Yeah. So even just when you're like at home, just practice like lower half and just sitting on it, just thinking about pushing them around. Because that makes a massive difference to just filling out the gaps between the legs. Good. Yep. Good. Nice. Before you go into it, just get that air in. Yeah. And then blow out. So you're not, you just went straight into it then. Like just prepare yourself. Blow, 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 blow. There we go, there we go, there we go. Better. Good.
And when I get lean, I can do, looks better when I do that one.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just editing this video as we speak. Got my meal number 4 on the go on a rest day. Out of action. I'll be starting prep on Monday. Today is Wednesday. Monday, which is in 5 days' time, 4.5 days' time now, I will be starting my 2022 contest prep, which is exciting. Obviously, the dates have always, it's been 2 weeks, it's been a week, it's been here, it's been there. But officially, I'll be starting on Monday. I'm nervous, I'm excited, but I can't wait to document every single aspect of it with you guys. So I'm gonna make sure what I'm eating right now, I'm gonna thoroughly enjoy it, because I know as soon as Monday comes around, my food is gonna cut down. And it's annoying because I've just recently got into eating and enjoying eating again since being in a good routine. But regardless, you know, it's a new challenge this year. I haven't dieted in a long time. I'm really excited to showcase the progress that I've made, and I'm hoping just by the videos over the past couple of years, you can see what I've done to contribute towards my progress. So it's only a matter of time. You know, I'm going to prove to myself this year that you can make some good progress with taking some time off stage. But we'll leave it there. Comment down below. Stanley, you know fucking Stanley? Always keep a blood cut knife next to your bed. I actually keep 2 knives. Because if someone comes in my bedroom at night time and I'm sleeping, I'll just grab the blade and fucking shank the fucker. I don't give a shit. I'm sleeping and you burgle me. What? What are you fucking playing at? And I probably will go to prison for that, but I don't care. Man came into my room and I sleep naked as well. Anything could have happened. Anyway, this video is going to get demonetized for me flicking knives. Lots of love. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have, please drop a like. And I shall see you guys in the next one. Bye.
I'm a London scammer. I see it, I want it, I click it. Nights in the bando, pirates whipping. Next day, man started clicking. No boo and waitress tipping. Bad beat, come and take this thinking. Codeine, that's what I'm sipping. Money, that's what I'm missing. Look, I'm a London scammer. I see it, I want it, I click it. Nights in the bando, pirates whipping. Next day, man started clicking. No boo and waitress tipping. Bad beat, come and take this thinking.